So for today's review we are heading to Canada, where we have this lovely 737 flying around, and we can do so thanks to the great prices of the FMB shop. And right now you can get models at even better prices because they have a sale going on, so do check them out. You can find a link to them in the video description below. And with that, hello and welcome to a new episode of Review, where we today will take a closer look at a Boeing 737MAX8 of WestJet. At the front of the box we have a cutout so we can get a glimpse of the aircraft model inside, and on top of that we have the WestJet branding. The backside of the box, well, no revelations here. It is still the very dreadful box design from Herpa Wings, so yet another cutout. Well, they will probably never change, which is a big shame. But let's not waste more time on the box, but let's look inside. And here she is, the Boeing 737MAX8 in the new standard livery of WestJet. And when I say new standard livery of WestJet, I of course mean the standard livery that WestJet introduced back in 2018. And we had to wait all the way to the end of 2024 before we could get a narrow-body aircraft sporting this livery. Herpa has, of course, in the past released a 787-9 of WestJet in this livery, but as I said, now we are finally getting the first narrow-body with this livery. About time. But apart from the livery, what can the aircraft model offer collectors? Well, we will find out by taking a closer look at it. Starting off with the tail section, where we on the vertical stabilizer have the really beautiful, in my opinion, color scheme of WestJet, and incorporated into that at the top of the stabilizer we have 3 digits. It's not the easiest detail to show, but believe me, they are there, and that should be an internal registration of the airline. The official or full registration code of the aircraft we can of course then find on the fuselage, where we also have the aircraft type specification. Unfortunately, we don't really have any other details here that are worth mentioning, at least in terms of printed details. But of course we should not forget to mention the I guess also printed detail at the very tail of the aircraft in form of the APU exhaust. When it comes to physical detailing, we do have a detail here at the back section of the aircraft worth mentioning. That is the set dome, in my opinion, oversized, but Herpa is very inconsistent with their set dome sizes here, so I guess we should just be happy that they have actually added a set dome to the model. Now let's see what we can find at the front of the aircraft. Here across the fuselage we have the writing of WestJet, and just behind that we have the company slogan, the spirit of Canada, here in English, on the other side in French. Of course, we also have a few static ports. That's quite a lovely addition. We do also find the Canadian flag. Above that there is a writing, but that is so tiny that I can't quite decipher it. If you know what that is, please let me know in the comment section below. The cockpit section itself has the cockpit windows with the lovely metallic edges around them and the window wipers, but that's also here all the printed details we will find at the cockpit section. So the engine nacelles have then been kept in all white, just as most of the fuselage, but do have the silver leading edge printed on and the safety markings, which is always a lovely addition to these engine nacelles. The chevron nozzles have been executed really well as well from Herpa Wings, and of course if we look into the engines from the front we can very nicely see the engine fan blades. On the fuselage, just above the wings, we have the emergency exits printed on, which leads us straight to the wings, which we should also take a closer look at. Starting off with the top side, where we have the different flap slats and spoilers carved out, a little bit drowned away by the grey base paint. And then, of course, we have the emergency exit safety markings printed on. That's quite lovely. The underside of the wings has more nice physical detailing, and we find the full registration code of the aircraft once again. The 737 MAX, of course, has these winglets, which I still think are a bit too bulky with Herpa Wings, but it really helps out with some colors, some color scheme on them. Looks really nice with the WestJet color scheme, in my opinion. Then we have the landing gear. That is of course the height adjusted standard landing gear that Herpa uses on all their 737 MAX models by now. Really lovely for the main landing gear, but also the front landing gear looks great, except of course for the missing printed details. On the belly of the aircraft we then have a hole in the fuselage for a stand that is not included with this aircraft model. Quite silly, but at least it doesn't destroy any printed details in this case. And then last but not least, we do also have the doors to the cargo compartments printed on here at the back of the aircraft, and also here at the front of the aircraft. So there we have it, the Boeing 737MAX8 in the new standard livery of WestJet from Herpa Wings and scale 1 to 500. And what can we say about this aircraft model? Now, with all the issues that Herpa has when they are creating models for us, it is always quite nice to get a 737 MAX model these days from Herpa Wings, because they are genuinely doing quite a good job with those. They are, of course, profiting from a really lovely mold, and it really helps the model with the height-adjusted landing gear. When you then add a nice livery like the one of WestJet to that, and the print quality is also quite decent on the model, well, then you get a solid Scale 500 aircraft model. Of course, we do need more printed details than what we are getting, especially for the retail price, but still, the overall package, if we ignore the retail price, is really good. This is a good Scale 500 aircraft model, and if Herpa were to make more models like this across their product range, I think collectors would overall be quite a bit more happy with them. Now, of course, WestJet might not fit everyone's collection, but there are also many other airlines featured on the 737 from Herpa Wings, and with the MAX models they are doing overall a really good job, as I said. So this is why I would say this model also is worth having in one's collection. Now, on that bombshell, it is time to end today's video. If you have enjoyed this video, then don't forget to leave a like. If you are new around here, why not hit subscribe? And with that, thanks so much for watching today's episode. Hope to see you soon again. I'm checking out, and bye.